In this video, we're going to cover different Canva skills that you can add to your Canva designs. Specifically in this video, we're going to look at something called frames. We're also going to look at how to insert pictures as well as change backgrounds of templates of presentations. So let's get started. In the example that we're going to look at today, we're going to look for a very specific type of Canva template. We're going to look for presentation. So let's say you want to look for something for back to school open house. So I'm on my Canva homepage, and in this box to search for through templates, I'm going to type in back to school. So when I type in back to school, it's going to give me a whole variety of different types of Canva media. So if you'll recall, if you look underneath any of the examples that this brings up after we did our search, you can see here this one is an Instagram post, this is Instagram, this one's a flyer, but what we're looking for is actually a presentation, kind of like a PowerPoint. So what we can do to do that is we can apply some filters so that we get more specifically as to what we're looking for. So I'm going to go over here to the filters, and I'm going to click on the drop down underneath category, and I'm going to select education, and then I'm going to select resource type. So this is going to allow me to specify what type of Canva media I want to work with. And I want to work with presentations. So I'm going to click on presentations, and now you can see here underneath all the examples it's given me, these are all presentations, very much like PowerPoint, that have multiple slides. When you click on one of the options that is available, you will notice you get a bigger frame here so you can kind of see what is going to be part of this template, and it will give you other suggestions that are similar to the one that you selected. In my case, I already have one that I've selected and that I'm going to be working on. So you're going to find one that you're going to work on, and then you're going to click Customize this template. Since I've already been working on my presentation, I'm going to go to where all of my Canva projects are located in this projects folder. So I'm going to click on that folder, and you can see here recently I have been working on this one. So this is the one that I'm going to go ahead and click on so I can start adding some different elements to it. So this is this back to school night, and I'm just going to hover on some of the content on this slide here. So anytime you see a square or a rectangle appear around something on here, that means that these are all separate elements. So this is actually an individual clip art picture that was put on the background. It is not actually part of the background. So the skills we were going to focus on today were frames, pictures, and backgrounds. So let's go ahead and look at one of the other slides that are in this presentation. All the slides will appear here at the bottom of your screen, and I'm going to select one of these slides. And I'm going to go over to one here where it's an introduction to the teacher. So again, I can click in any one of these elements and I can make changes to it just by typing or replacing it with another picture. Now this particular element over here is a frame with a teacher's picture in it, and I want to put in my own frame and my own picture. So I'm going to click on this element, and I'm going to click the delete button, and you can see the picture inside the frame disappeared, but I'm also going to get rid of this frame. So now what I want to do is I want to add my own frame. And a frame is basically just that, a picture frame. But you can have a picture frame that has different types of dimensions. So the way you access frames is to go over on the left-hand side to where it says Elements. And if you scroll down through the different elements, you will come to an area that says frames. So here are some examples of frames. If I want to see all that are available to me, I can click on that. So all of these images can be filled with a picture. So I'm going to select one that makes the most sense for this presentation. So I'm going to select, let's say, this Polaroid looking frame, and I'm going to drag it and drop it right onto the screen, and I can resize it by using the little circles in the corners. So right now the frame is empty. It's got one of those fake pictures that when you buy a real picture frame is centered in here, and I want to replace it with my own picture. So how do you get your own picture in here? Well, if you want to put an actual photograph that you've taken and you have it saved to your computer, it's very simple to do. We're going to come back over here to all of the elements area, and we're going to click on where it says uploads. So if you have a saved picture of yourself or whatever it is that you want to put in a frame, you can upload it and add it to your project. So if I were to upload a picture that I have saved, I could click upload files, and this would allow me to navigate to wherever my picture has been saved. I've already uploaded a picture, so I'm just going to scroll down through images that I have already used in previous presentations, and I can find a picture of myself and I want to fill this frame with it. So all you need to do once you have the image that you want is drag it right on top of that frame, and it will automatically fill the frame with your picture. And it's very as simple as that. If you want a different frame, again, you can replace this by going over to your elements and going back over to frames, and you can select a different frame. So let's say I don't want this one. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to drag this one in so that I can get a better picture. And then I'm going to come over to my uploads, locate the picture that I had uploaded to Canva, and then I'm going to drop it and fill the frame. One final component I want to show you before we wrap this video up is the ability to change your background. So when you use a template, you're usually given a background, and you can see here it shows up on all of my slides. So let's say I want to change that. I'm just going to hop on over back to my first slide because that's where you'll be able to see the background the most. As I said in the beginning of this video, this background is actually just a color, because you can see here as I hover on all of these graphics, these are all individual images that have been inserted. But on the left hand side over here, underneath elements, you'll see an option that says background, and you can kind of specify what you're looking for. So let's say we want something related to education or school. So you can see here I got several that are related to school. So let's say I want to change this maybe to this chalkboard. So I can click on that, and it shows me what it looks like on this first slide here. If I were to keep this, obviously I would need to change the color of my text so that my text would stand out a little bit more. So I can do that. And all of these changes are pretty easy to do. And I'll click on that. And then I may want to get rid of some of the additional pictures that were part of the original background. If you like the background that you've selected, you can apply it to each one of your pages just by clicking on the page and then clicking on the background. Anything that you want to undo, you can undo. So let's say, for instance, you didn't want the background on this page. I can click undo up here, and you can keep hitting undo as many times as you need to. As a final review, remember you can change anything about a template that you're working with, including all of the images. So if you are building your own back to school or open house presentation, you can select pictures of your own students and throw them in there just by uploading them to your Canva project. So I have a few on my desktop here, and I'm going to add both of these pictures to my library by selecting both of them, and this is going to upload them here. And then all I need to do is drag and drop them right on top of that frame, and the frame will be filled with the new picture.